So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, sponsored by Falcon Contracting and boxbets.co.uk, at home of boxing betting. You are here with Joel and Jam for another prediction show. Michael Hunter, let's get this right, his opponent's name, Ignacio Esparza. Yeah, good luck with that one, Jonathan Ross. We'll this one's happening in Mexico on March the 23rd, so this coming weekend. It's a strange one. There's not really been much coverage around this one, apart from Michael Hunter posting out the poster every so often. Other than that, he's kind of become a bit of a forgotten man, Michael Hunter. He was kind of the guy that we really wanted to see in fights because he's a great fighter. I like watching Michael Hunter. He's a quality operator. He's not afraid to get in there and bang and stand toe to toe with someone exciting. But he just seems to have drifted off the mat. But this one, we'll see. Hunter, 24 fights, 21 wins, 2 draws, 15 knockouts. Esparza, 26 fights, 23 wins, 14 knockouts. This gives you a little indication. His last fight was June 2021 against Abraham Ernesto Beltran, which he won on unanimous decision over 4 rounds, and he weighed 302 quarter pounds. Woo! That's a lot of cheeseburgers. Michael Hunter was last out September 2023 against Miguel Cubos, which he won TKO round 2. So he's a big boy, I think is the way to describe him. He's an absolute unit.
He's a beast, for sure.
Yeah, we think Andy Ruiz loves the buffet. This guy eats Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz and the buffet. Yeah. People with him. Definitely. You've got to look, though, Joel, at Michael Hunter II's. I know he's 6 years older than Esparza, so that's obviously not good, especially with the inactivity of Esparza. And Hunter's not really been that active, but he has got a draw with Alexander Povetkin.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? No easy job. He's got some good wins he had the loss to Usyk, obviously, so he's been in good territory in the boxing ring. He's had the other draw with Jerry Forrest, but he also beat Forrest in the earlier fight a few years earlier. He's lost to Ustinov, he beat Ustinov and Kuzman, who were both good Eastern Bloc fighters. Michael Hunter is definitely operated at a much higher level, as we all know. Whereas Esparza, it's hard to even find any content of the lad because he's not been that active outside of Mexico.
I think that's the thing when you fight in Mexico, like we know with a particular Christopher Lovejoy. If you're fighting in Mexico and those sort of places, there's no footage, there's nothing. They're a nightmare because you can either get a Mexican that is a total hidden gem, bit of a treasure that comes out of nowhere, gets his shot, doesn't he, out of Mexico and absolutely makes a name for himself. Or you get a Mexican that stays in Mexico and never comes out and turns into a 70-0 because he's, beat everyone at the local garage. So this guy, it's going to be an interesting one. I think we have to go with experience on this one. Chris is jumping in. Michael Hunter, Chris as always. Michael Hunter was a top 10 heavyweight, but not anymore. Too much inactivity. And at this point, I don't see him ever being a major player in this division again. Do you know what? It'd be an interesting fight. It would be Dillian White. I think that would be a really good timed fight.
Tell you what, stick him in with Joe Joyce after that shambolic performance the other night. I'd love to see that. Hunter would take Joe Joyce out, in my opinion, after that sour shite.
Apparently Joe Joyce was going to knock out Dillian White next, but we'll get into that. It's a shame.
Joyce, that performance couldn't knock a wank out.
It's a shame because he could be in some great fights with other contenders like Hrgovic, Zhang, Parker, and Ruiz. Yeah, you could see Michael Hunter being in the mix in the Saudi cards.
And being only 35, he's relatively young in heavyweight terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can fight 40, 42 in heavyweight. Look at Povetkin and whatnot. They can.
And the wear and tear.
Will continue.
The wear and tear. I don't. At this point, I don't care any longer. He had a good run. Had high hopes for him, but his career fell off the track after the Povetkin draw. What a shame. Wasted potential. Great pronunciation, says Chris. I tried, mate. It took a lot of Google translation.
I'll
I
tell you
remember.
what, before we carry on, mate, Ignacio Esparza, the only real person on his resume is Dennis Lebedev, and he got knocked out in 4. So
Levels.
This is a mismatch, really. This is just because he's Mexican in Mexico and Hunter wants to get back in the ring. I don't think there's any potential for an upset. I think it's a Hunter win, and I'm going to go knockout round 5.
I think you're being generous, mate. Good evening, boys.
Big lump who's going to take some getting rid of. That's the only reason I'm going 5. I would have gone first round, but he's a big lump, mate. He's Esparza.
Yeah. It's definitely not going to be a work the body job on this one. Good evening, boys. Jam, do you sleep, for fuck's sake? He doesn't.
Rarely, brother, rarely.
Chris, Jam's made me fall off my bed. Put him in with Joyce after that shambles. I'm laughing, but it's true. It's very true, mate. Hunter, too small, in my opinion. He doesn't belong at the top table. Get the hype job, Jared Anderson. In with Dillian White. Let's see what he has. Well,
that would be good, mate. Jared, big baby. Anderson, not the cheating drugs one. The actual real big baby who doesn't act like a giant baby. He would be better. He would be much better in that fight for sure. Dillian White would probably knock him out. Have you watched the fight back yet, guys? Dillian White looked sharp, mate, against Christian Hammer. Made him quit like a little bitch at the end of the 3rd round. And I mean, the German quit on his stool like a pussy. It was quite embarrassing to watch. And it was on Show Sports last night, so we could have found it if we kept digging.
Oh, well, we were knackered, mate.
I got to watch it anyway, about midnight, so it's all good.
I will go with this one. I'm going to go Michael Hunter. If you want to be taken seriously, you've got to take a guy out within 3, haven't you? This sort of guy. We've talked about this. You know, Joe Joyce didn't show himself up very good. I know people banged on about Dillian White going against Christian Hammer, that Christian Hammer's not really up to much, but he dealt with it. This is the thing. He got the job done within a relative time after a big absence. Michael Hunter, he's got to come in. You know, it last fought in September, so he's still relatively fresh on the heavyweight scene, in the sense of not many people, you know, heavyweights don't fight that often during the year if you're at that level.
Twice if you look at it.
So he's got to build on this. He's got to come out. He's got to knock this guy out in style and get people saying, actually, he did a job there, regardless of who the opponent is. He knocked him out. It worked with Joshua and Hellenius. It put him back in the mix with getting people the bigger fights again.
For the confidence too, Joel. For the confidence as well.
Yeah, true.
It gives heavyweights that belief that they've still got that power. And that's dangerous with heavyweights. You know what I mean? Because it proves they can still knock out men that are as big as them.
Especially a guy that size. If you knock a guy that size out, that shows you really have got the power. I don't care what anyone says. So
that's true. Did you see Dillian at the end as well, Joel? Did you actually see?
No, I've got to catch up with it.
He went mental, mate. He went absolutely mental. He was saying, calling, like going up to him in his corner, calling him everything under the sun, like, you pussy, you quit on me. I can't believe I've wasted my time coming to Ireland. And like literally he went mental, like he was not happy with him quitting on his stool.
Yeah, but to be fair, he could turn around quick now, can't he? That's the advantage. Carl said Hunter is in the who needs the club, like Bacoli. They will have to muscle their way into a mandatory to get a big fight. 100%. Like I say, I'm going Hunter in 3. Jam's going Hunter in 4. So it's all within that sort of thing.
4 or 5. Big lump. 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah. Got to cut the tree down, mate. Let us know in the comments how you see this one. Give us your predictions. Hit the subscribe button as well and check out the rest of the content. We're looking forward to this one. Mexico on March the 23rd. Jam, thank you very much. As always, we'll be back with another prediction show shortly. But you know what? Until then,
have some of this.
Have it.